Finn Reeves had not planned to open his door to anyone that Christmas morning. For 5 long years, Christmas had passed like any other cold day on his Wyoming ranch. No tree stood in the corner, no lights warmed the windows, no laughter lived in the house. Finn preferred it that way. Celebration reminded him of what he had lost, and loss was easier to bear when life stayed quiet. He stood at the kitchen window, holding a tin mug of coffee that had gone cold without him noticing. Outside, snow drifted down in slow, steady sheets, covering the land in white silence. The cottonwood trees stood bare and stiff, their branches scratching the gray sky. The ranch felt frozen in time, just like him. Work waited, horses needed checking, fences needed mending, supplies needed counting before the next storm rolled in. Work kept his mind busy. Work kept memories from rising up and choking him. He told himself he would step outside any moment now. Then he saw movement. A lone figure walked through the snow toward his house. Small, slow, determined, not lost, not wandering. Someone who knew exactly where they were going. Finn set the mug down. His boots echoed loudly as he crossed the empty house. He opened the front door, already forming the words to send the stranger away. And then time stopped. The woman standing on his porch looked exactly like his sister. Same dark eyes, too big for her thin face. Same sharp cheekbones softened by exhaustion. Same quiet strength in the way she stood straight, despite the cold and the long road behind her. Even the way snow clung to her dark hair felt familiar. Finn forgot how to breathe. She spoke first, her voice gentle and careful. "Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you on Christmas. My name is Marie Cartwright. I'm looking for work. Any work at all, just through the holidays, if that's all you can offer." She talked quickly, as if afraid silence meant refusal. She said she could cook, clean, mend, and manage a household. She said she did not eat much and would not complain. She said she had references, though they were from back east. Finn barely heard her. Sarah was dead, 5 years dead, buried on a quiet hillside where wildflowers grew in summer. This woman could not be her, and yet the resemblance struck him like a blow to the chest. "How long have you been traveling?" he asked, his voice rough. 3 days on foot from Laramie," she said. "I tried the other ranches, but they're set for winter." 3 days in this cold. Finn noticed her shaking hands, the thin shawl pulled tight, the worn boots split at the toes. This woman had been desperate long before she reached his door. Snow fell heavier now, settling in her hair the way it once settled in Sarah's. Something cracked open inside Finn, a place he had kept sealed shut for years. "Yes," he said at last, "come in from the cold." Relief crossed her face, careful but real. She stepped inside, bringing snow and life into a house that had known neither for too long. Her eyes took in the bare walls, the quiet rooms, the loneliness that clung to everything. "I'm Finn Reeves," he said, closing the door. "I'm hosting a small gathering for neighboring ranchers on New Year's Eve. I could use help preparing, cooking, cleaning, getting rooms ready." "I can do all of that," Marie said. "Thank you, Mr. Reeves. You won't regret it." But Finn already felt something heavy settle in his chest. Regret, maybe, or hope. He could not yet tell the difference. He showed her through the house, the kitchen, the sitting room, the small study. She followed quietly, noticing everything. When he mentioned the guest rooms upstairs had not been used in years, she nodded and said she would take care of them. He stopped at a small room near the kitchen. "You can stay here. It's warm." It had been Sarah's room once. Marie stepped inside, set her small canvas bag on the bed, and turned back with a soft smile. "This is perfect. Thank you." The gratitude in her voice made Finn's throat tighten. "I'll make breakfast," he said quickly. She tried to protest, but he turned away. He needed distance, needed motion, needed to not look at her face. In the kitchen, he stoked the fire with shaking hands. What had he done? He had invited a stranger into a life he had carefully emptied of feeling. A woman who looked like his dead sister, a reminder he had never asked for. When he glanced down the hallway, he saw her silhouette in the doorway of her room. The tilt of her head, the line of her shoulders, exactly the way Sarah used to stand. Finn looked away. This would be simple, he told himself. She would work. He would pay her fairly. She would leave after New Year's. His life would return to its quiet emptiness. But as he cracked eggs into a pan, he knew the house already felt different, filled with soft sounds, with presence, with someone alive. And somewhere deep inside, a question stirred that frightened him more than loneliness ever had. Was this mercy or punishment? He did not yet know. The house did not stay quiet for long. By mid-morning, Marie moved through the rooms with quiet purpose. She did not rush, but she did not waste time either. Finn watched from the hallway as she wiped dust from windows that had not binn cleaned in years. Pale winter light spilled inside, touching corners that had lived in shadow for too long. She hummed softly while she worked, a low, gentle tune Finn did not recognize. The sound settled into the house like something meant to be there. I found evergreen branches in the barn, Marie said without turning around. And a crate of old decorations. May I use them? Quote. Finn's chest tightened. Those decorations had belonged to Sarah. He had packed them away after that last Christmas and never touched them again. Yes, he said. Just be careful. I will, Marie replied. He believed her. By afternoon, the house no longer felt like a place abandoned by joy. Evergreen boughs hung above doorways. Simple wooden ornaments caught the light. Candles rested on every windowsill, unlit but waiting. The air smelled faintly of pine instead of dust. Finn retreated to his study, pretending to work through ranch records. In truth, he kept finding himself standing in the doorway, watching Marie move. She handled everything with respect, as if she understood this house carried old pain. When she moved to the kitchen and began making bread, the smell hit him hard, yeast, and warmth, and memory. Sarah had baked bread on winter days just like this. Finn stepped outside before the memories could pull him under. He rode out to check the cattle, staying longer than needed, letting cold wind burn his face and clear his head. When he finally turned back, dusk had settled over the land. The sight stopped him. Every window of the house glowed with candlelight. Smoke rose from the chimney. The place looked alive, like a home. Finn sat frozen on his horse, heart pounding. Part of him wanted to turn away. It felt dangerous to go back inside, dangerous to want something again. But someone was waiting there. He rode home. Supper passed quietly. Marie served stew and fresh bread, then began cleaning without being asked. When she finished, she started toward her room. You can sit by the fire, Finn said suddenly. It's warmer there. She hesitated, then nodded. They sat across from each other with the fire between them. The storm began after dark, wind howling and snow pounding the walls. The fire cracked and popped, filling the silence. You said you came from Laramie, Finn said. Before that? Missouri. Illinois before that, Marie answered. I've been moving west for 2 years, wherever there's work. Running from something? Marie looked into the fire. Running from staying still. After a long moment, she spoke again. I lost my family to fever, my husband and my little girl, a week apart. Finn felt the words land deep in his chest. My sister died the same way, he said. 5 years ago. Marie turned to him then, understanding, filling her eyes. That's why you hired me. Yes. I remind you of her. He nodded. For a moment, I thought she'd come back. I'm not her, Marie said gently. I know. They sat with the truth between them. That's why you live alone, Marie said. Because everyone reminds you of what you lost. Finn stared at the fire. I failed her. I promised I'd keep her safe. That isn't failure, Marie said. That's grief. Grief doesn't excuse hiding from life. She stood then, pulling her shawl tighter. If my husband could speak to me now, he wouldn't want me to stop living because he couldn't. Her words stayed with Finn long after she went to her room. The blizzard trapped them for 2 more days. They talked more during those hours, not deeply at first, then slowly closer to the pain. Marie told him about her daughter's laugh. Finn told her about Sarah's dreams of teaching. They did not fix anything. But something shifted. On the morning the storm cleared, Marie went upstairs to clean the guest rooms. Finn was in his study when she appeared in the doorway holding a small leather-bound book. "I found this," she said. It was tucked behind the headboard. Finn's world tilted. Sarah's diary. The one he had searched for and never found. His hand shook as he reached for it. "I'm sorry," Marie said quickly. "I didn't realize what it was." "Just leave it," Finn snapped. Marie froze. Hurt crossed her face before she hid it. "Of course," she said quietly. She turned and walked away. Finn sat alone, the diary heavy in his hands. He wanted to throw it into the fire, wanted to keep it closed forever. Instead, he opened it. Sarah's words spilled out. Hopeful, bright, alive. He read every entry, forced himself to face it all. The last page broke him. She wrote that she did not blame him, that she hoped he would live, not just survive. Finn's vision blurred. He had spent 5 years punishing himself for a guilt she never gave him. And now he had hurt Marie. He stood and went to her door. Lamplight shone beneath it. He heard the sound of packing. She was leaving. Finn raised his hand to knock, lowered it. Fear won. He returned to his study and sat through the night, trapped between the sister he had lost and the woman he was losing. By dawn, he knew one thing. If he let Marie walk away, he would be choosing death all over again. Finn did not sleep. He sat at the kitchen table as dawn crept across the snow, Sarah's diary open in front of him. Her words echoed in his mind, clear and unforgiving. She had not blamed him. She had wanted him to live, and instead he had spent 5 years turning her memory into a cage. From down the hall came the quiet sound of movement, a drawer closing, cloth folding. Marie was packing. Finn stood before fear could stop him. He crossed the hallway and knocked once on her door. "Marie," he said. "It's Finn. Please, can we talk?" Silence stretched long enough for him to believe he was too late. Then the door opened a few inches. Marie stood there with tired eyes and a guarded face. She had been crying. He could see it in the tight way she held herself, braced for disappointment. "I owe you an apology," Finn said, "and the truth. Will you hear me out?" Quote. She studied him for a moment, then opened the door wider. "I'm listening." They sat at the kitchen table as pale morning light filled the room. Finn held the diary with both hands, like something sacred. "I failed my sister," he began. "At least, that's what I told myself. I promised my mother I'd protect Sarah. When she got sick, I rode through a blizzard trying to reach a doctor. I couldn't make it. She died, believing I would." His voice broke, but he did not stop. "I buried her and shut the world out. I thought living alone was the price I had to pay." He opened the diary and read Sarah's final words aloud. That she did not blame him, that she wanted him to live fully, that she hoped he would be happy. Marie covered her mouth, tears spilling freely. "She forgave you," she whispered. "I never forgave myself," Finn said, "and yesterday, when you found this, I lashed out because facing that truth hurt more than the guilt." He looked at her then, really looked at her. "You came here needing work. I hired you because you reminded me of my sister. That was wrong. But keeping you here because I see you for who you are now feels right." Marie's hands trembled in her lap. "I don't want you to stay because you look like Sarah," Finn said. "I want you to stay because you're Marie, because you understand loss, because you brought life back into this house, because I don't want to hide anymore." The words hung between them. "You want me to stay," Marie said slowly, "not just through New Year's." "Yes, As long as you want. As yourself." She looked down, then back up, tears shining in her eyes. "I've been alone a long time," she said. "I don't know how to stop." "Neither do I," Finn said, "but we can learn." For a long moment, Marie said nothing. Then she nodded. "All right, I'll stay." Relief hit Finn so hard he had to close his eyes. New Year's Eve arrived quietly. By nightfall, neighbors filled the house with voices and warmth. Laughter echoed off walls that had known only silence. Marie moved easily among the guests, welcoming them with calm grace. Finn watched her, amazed by how naturally she belonged. Someone remarked how alive the house felt. Finn simply nodded. At midnight, they stepped onto the porch together. The sky was clear and full of stars. Breath fogged the air as voices counted down. When the new year arrived, cheers rang out across the snow-covered land. Finn stood beside Marie, feeling something he had not felt in years. Peace. "Happy New Year," he said. "Happy New Year," she replied. Morning came bright and cold. Finn woke to the sound of coffee brewing and quiet humming. He joined Marie at the table, where sunlight spilled across clean windows and warm wood. Later they walked together to the hillside where Sarah rested. Snow lay smooth and untouched around the stone. Finn spoke of his sister, not with pain this time, but with gratitude. Marie listened, her hand resting lightly at his side. "She would have wanted this," Marie said, "for you." "I know," Finn said. "I'm finally ready." They walked back to the house side by side, their footprints crossing the snow together. Inside, warmth waited. Finn closed the door behind them. For the first time in 5 years, the ranch was not a place of ghosts. It was home.